welcome again. Hello. How are you?
Okay, we're on page 103. It's called Escape from Afghanistan. So right now, Farah's life is actually really sad. She had to say goodbye to her brothers, and now who does she live with only?
Her mother.
Her mom. That's it. Her sisters and her dad were killed by a rocket, and her brothers left. What are you doing? Her brothers escaped because it's either die or go into the Taliban army and probably still die anyway, which is a terrible, awful thing. Okay, so I'm on page 103, right in the beginning. It says, one day we got a letter hand-carried to us by some traveler. Some random person showed up on her doorstep and gave her a letter. But it was not from her brothers. It came from my mother's cousin in Quetta, which is a city in Pakistan. No, Quetta. Quetta. We had lost track of her and did not even know she was there, but somehow 6 months after my father's death, she heard about the event and the sadness and like the bad lives that they're living. Come to Quetta, she wrote. Come get across the border somehow into Pakistan and then come directly to this city. Do not go in Peshawar, which is another Peshawar, a city in Pakistan. That is a Taliban stronghold. So that city that she said don't go to, the Taliban is there. You won't be welcome there. In fact, you will be in danger, for the Taliban come from that region, and they do not like Hazaras, which is that group that she is in.
Yeah.
Peshawar is a dangerous place for 2 Hazara women on their own because they don't have a man traveling with them. So they're in
You know what you're gonna say? If those people go to it, they're gonna say, like, you're gonna marry her mother, and one of them gonna marry Farah.
maybe.
Doesn't matter how gosh, that's what they're doing in all the countries.
Mm-hmm. It says, do not even go into that city if you can avoid it. Just come to the city that I'm in. And she gave directions for finding her house once we got to the city. Yeah. This cousin of my mother's had moved to Quetta some time ago. She had settled life there. She had lost her husband, but she had a brother and 2 sons living. Those men had gotten out of Afghanistan earlier when the Soviets were there. Okay. Well, we talked it over with our neighbors and decided that we had to do it. Had to do what? Escape. Leave. We had questions and learned about that we could pay a man to serve as our escort on the bus to Jalalabad, which is a city in Afghanistan. That would get us out of the Taliban-dominated Kabul. From Jalalabad to the border, we would be on our own, which is scary. As far as getting across the border, do you know what the border means? It's like it's kind of like Canada and the United States have like a line. Yeah. And they have to get over from Afghanistan across the line to Pakistan.
Mexican and United States, if the people that's the
border.
Yeah. If they something and they go to it,
Mm-hmm.
the police can go and get them.
Yeah, right, exactly. So they didn't know what to do. Like when they get to the border, they don't know what has to happen. Like, do they have to pay money? Do they have to sneak? Like, they don't know. So anyway, they figured they would just figure things out when they got there. They're like, let's just get there and then we'll think. Yeah. By the time we left Afghanistan, the warm days had come. So it looks like it's about summertime. We wrapped a few possessions, some things that they have that we would take with us. We could not take much. All right. I'm going to finish this last part, and then Pascal's going to have to go, and we'll stop now for now. When her father died, when her father died, her mom has really bad asthma. It's when you can't breathe. In fact, Qutaiba, do you have that?
My father has it.
Your father has that, so you understand how scary it is when we call it an asthma attack when you can't breathe.
Yeah, that's my
Jacqueline Kelly.
Yeah, an inhaler. Right?
This one's not working.
Oh, no.
This one's really bad.
Okay, does anyone else have asthma?
No, thank you.
Sometimes
Eva has it.
Yeah, you have an inhaler, don't you?
But not the ones that have like
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
I'll be
Okay.
back. You want to go?
Okay.
No.
All right. So she was rasping with every breath, like she was like, which is terrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Let's go. I know the bell ring.
Okay.
So I'm leaving.
They had no medicine for her mother, so they didn't even have that inhaler. So when it got bad, all she could do was rest, and the last thing we needed was extra baggage. So they couldn't take a lot of things with them because her mother needed to rest.
What are you gonna do with all those things?
Okay. We made it to the city that they needed to get to. Okay.
Hey, Pascal.
Hi, Pascal.
Come here,
Look at
Pascal.
the camera.
We're gonna miss you, best. No, we're not gonna miss you. You can wait. No one cares.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So listen, after they got to that city, they had to find another bus station to take them to the border
Station.
to get on another bus.
Close that one. Yeah.
But before they got on the bus, they noticed that everyone was bringing plastic bags with them.
Plastic bag.
A plastic bag.
Why?
Like when you go to Wegmans and you buy something, they have a plastic bag.
Yeah, yeah.
She says, I'm on 106 and I'm at the bottom. It says, at the moment I discovered what the plastic bags were for. One of the men in the back seat vomited loudly, barely hitting his awful stew in the bag.
Oh my God.
You kidding me?
The nasty smell
Oh.
came through the van or the bus. My nostrils puckered and I felt my own vomit rising in her
Oh yeah.
throat. I grabbed for my bag. So all these people on this tiny little bus, it's tiny, it's really little, everyone was throwing up. Terrible.
What? I was throwing out every single.
Well,
thing
I think
that
it was just because it was so bumpy and
Yeah.
dusty. As it's out in the desert, it's just not good.
Something like that.
About a half a mile from the border, the van pulled over to the side of the road. This is as far as we go, the driver said. And that's the border up ahead. You see those two buildings and the gate between them? That's it. If you can get through that gate, you are in Pakistan.
Well, Felicia Whitfield, please come to attendance. Felicia Whitfield to
Um,
attendance.
About a half mile up the road
Do you
on
know
the...
what she said?
She said, oh my God.
She said, "Oh my God," because she didn't came before.
Oh, okay. About a half a mile up the road on the other side, you could see the other side. You'll find other cars like this offering rides to Peshawar, which is the place that they should not be going to. Why? Because she's Hazara and they kill Hazara people there. She should not go there.
Who's that?
Hazara.
Hazara
An
is
ethnic group.
That is a group,
Follow up.
Like Kurdish,
like Kurdish in Iraq,
right?
Oh yeah.
Kurdish in Arabic.
Yeah.
This is different.
Oh.
Yeah,
Kurdish
okay.
is like Arabic, or
So
Arabic
the
is like Kurdish.
Taliban does not like her group.
Why?
Like ISIS,
Because
And the world.
Arabic.
Mhm.
there's no one. ISIS that doesn't like anyone.
Correct.
Yeah.
They don't even like themselves.
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
They explode themselves.
I know. Well, we got out and started going to the border station, and we were not alone. There's a whole road that was filled with people trying to get across the border. Hundreds of families. I don't know how many. I wasn't counting. The gate to Pakistan was closed. There was a gigantic gate, like a fence. It was closed. And I could see that the Pakistani border guards were letting no one come in. People were pushing and shoving and jostling up against the gate, and the guards were driving them back. As I got closer, there's more people, and I could hear like people yelling something, and the Pakistanis were yelling back. My mother was clutching her side and gasping for breath. I felt desperate to get through, but the sun was going down. And if we were stuck there, what were we going to do? Where would we stay? There was nothing here. There was no town, no hotel, no buildings, no food, just the desert. Yet we had no chance of getting through. Big, strong men were running up to the gate. Okay, I have to stop.